The shocking truth about MKUltra. Have you ever wondered if your government has experimented on its own citizens? Not in theory, not in secret labs halfway across the world, but right here, in your own country, on people like you, without their knowledge, without their consent. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is MKUltra, the real, declassified CIA mind control program that operated for over 2 decades. It involved hallucinogenic drugs, electroshock therapy, psychological torture, and experiments that destroyed lives. Today, we're diving into one of the darkest and most secretive operations in modern history. This is the terrifying story of MKUltra. Let's go back to the early 1950s. The Cold War is in full swing. America and the Soviet Union are locked in a global game of espionage, nuclear arms, and psychological warfare. The CIA was terrified that enemy nations were developing mind control techniques. They believed communists had found ways to brainwash prisoners of war during the Korean War. In 1953, CIA Director Allen Dulles approved a top-secret program, Project MKUltra. The goal? To explore everything that could control, manipulate, or break the human mind. This included drugs, hypnosis, isolation, sensory deprivation, electroshock, and even abuse. MKUltra wasn't just one project. It was made up of over 150 sub-projects across universities, hospitals, prisons, and military bases, often disguised as legitimate research. Most people involved had no idea they were working for the CIA. The CIA believed LSD could be the ultimate mind control drug. It could disorient, confuse, and make people vulnerable to suggestion. So they started dosing people with LSD, sometimes with consent, often without. These experiments took place in mental hospitals, where patients were given high doses for weeks. In military bases, where soldiers were unknowingly drugged and observed. In bars and safe houses, where random citizens were lured in and dosed. One infamous operation was Operation Midnight Climax. The CIA hired sex workers to bring men to a CIA-run apartment in San Francisco. While the men were having sex, agents behind two-way mirrors watched as the women secretly dosed them with LSD. Why? To see if drugs could make people confess secrets or become programmable. They also tested other substances, barbiturates and amphetamines, injected in quick succession to induce confusion. Scopolamine, a so-called truth drug. Mescaline, a hallucinogen used in Nazi experiments. Yes, the CIA studied Nazi records and even recruited some Nazi scientists under Operation Paperclip. Some of the most disturbing experiments took place in Canada, at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, led by Dr. Ewan Cameron. He was a respected psychiatrist and secretly funded by the CIA. Cameron developed techniques to de-pattern the human mind. First, he gave patients massive doses of LSD. Then, he used electroshock therapy, far beyond the recommended limits. He played recorded messages on loop for days or weeks. He put people in sensory deprivation tanks. He gave them paralyzing drugs while they were awake and helpless. Many of these patients had no serious mental illness. They went in for anxiety or depression and came out with wiped memories, personality loss, or worse. Some were never able to function again. They were destroyed in the name of science. One of the most tragic stories is that of Frank Olson, a biochemist who worked with the CIA. In 1953, he was secretly dosed with LSD during a CIA retreat, without his knowledge. 9 days later, Olson fell to his death from a hotel window in New York. The CIA claimed it was suicide. But decades later, his family discovered evidence suggesting he may have been pushed to silence him. Thousands of people were experimented on, some in prisons, told they were receiving treatment, some in universities, part of psychology studies, some on the street, innocent civilians in the wrong place at the wrong time. In 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered all MK-Ultra files destroyed. Only a few survived, by accident, because they were misfiled. That's right. We know about MK-Ultra only because the CIA messed up their own cover-up. In 1975, the Church Committee in the U.S. Senate began investigating CIA abuses. They uncovered the remnants of MK-Ultra and were horrified. Senators heard testimonies from victims, whistleblowers, and former agents. The public was stunned. How could a democratic government conduct secret mind control experiments on its own people? The answer? Fear, power, and no accountability. Today, MK-Ultra is part of pop culture. Movies like The Manchurian Candidate, Jacob's Ladder, and Stranger Things were inspired by it. Conspiracy theories say it never truly ended. Some claim modern tech like social media and AI are the new MK-Ultra. Is that true? We don't know. But MK-Ultra proves that governments are capable of horrifying things when no one's watching. MK-Ultra was real. It was not a theory. It was a government-funded, science-backed, deeply unethical operation to control the human mind.